Jake Paul versus Dana White. Like I said, Dana White is the UFC president, right? He runs the show. Jake Paul is just a YouTuber who became a fighter. Any average boxer with a 4-0 record without being an internet celebrity would be on the undercard fights, would probably be making, maybe $12,000 to fight, $12,000 to win, maybe. They definitely would not be headlining pay-per-views. And we know Jake Paul's last fight, damn, that sucked. The only thing that was good about it was the knockout. It was not great boxing. Even the announcers at one point said, "This is hard to watch." Dana White should allow Masvidal to fight Jake Paul in an MMA fight. Masvidal would knock his ass out quickly. Jake Paul doesn't realize there's different levels to this shit when it comes to MMA compared to boxing. And Dana White has a clear point. How come you're not fighting real fighters, real boxers, or real MMA fighters with actual technical skill, like a Anderson Silva? Well, according to this, he has 4 bouts. He's had 4 boxing matches. I should say he has 4 boxing fights. He is 46 years old, 6'2", 180 pounds. So he can fight at 205 if he has to. And to be honest, that's on the same level of Jake Paul. And according to this website, it says he has a 2-1 record. And his MMA record is 34-11-0. To be honest, Jake Paul wouldn't probably land anything on a fighter like that. He needs to fight real guys. And I know people are going to say, well, he's still at the amateur level. Then why is he competing on pay-per-view at the highest point at the main event when his fights aren't good? He's fighting basketball players, washed up MMA guys. Like Dana White said, fight Anderson Silva, fight a real boxer, fight somebody who actually will give you a run for their money, not Ben Askren, who never struck in his life, not somebody else. Yes, he has a point. Jake Paul has a point that MMA fighters don't make a lot of money. He's trying to give notoriety to the sport to give people the chance to make more money. I get that. But at the end of the day, like Ben Askren says, you can't go, well, pay the MMA fighters more money, but I'm making $2.5 million a fight. The only reason Jake Paul is making the money he is because he has a name. That's the only reason he has a way of making a living. If he was like me and I had a 4-0 record, you think I'm going to be getting Jake Paul numbers? I'm going to get Jake Paul paydays? You think I'm going to get Jake Paul anything? I would probably be on like Jimmy's boxing card in like Alabama in the middle of nowhere where no one knows who I am until I could build up a record of at least like 10-0. That's the problem with Jake Paul. He's getting so much notoriety just because of his name, just because he talks. Even if I was a guy who talked like Jake Paul, telling you I'm knocking out Mike Tyson, I'm knocking out this guy, knocking out that guy, no one's giving a damn, because at the end of the day, Jake Paul only got this notoriety because his YouTube fame, and that's why he can sell pay-per-views, yes. But his last pay-per-view was 65,000 pay-per-views. At the end of the day, fight real box. I get it. Dana White hates Jake Paul because he's pressuring him into showing him, hey, you're making this amount of money. Pay your fighters good money. I believe every fighter should have health care. Every fighter should have the benefits of retiring. But one fighter, I don't remember who it was, they said, at the end of the day, I think it was Misha Tate. They said, at the end of the day, you can have money when you retire. It's all about how you spend your money. If you make $100,000 a fight or $50,000 a fight, it's all about how you save your money. If you do 3 fights at $50,000 and you win all your fights, that's $150,000. That's more than the average person. $50,000 is more than the average American makes. So at the end of the day, what they should do is take his money and say everybody will get $50,000, but it's all about the fighters. If you save your money, you invest your money, you do other things with your money, that's how you're going to end up with the money. But if you just spend your money on luxury things like cars and boats and other things and buying big houses and big things, that's why you're going to be out of money. But at the end of the day, I'll say it again, Jake Paul needs to fight real ass fighters, not MMA guys, real boxers. a guy who is on the same skill level as him and a guy who can actually beat him. Like I said, Anderson Silva has the skill set to beat him. Vitor Belfort has the skill to beat him, but he won't fight guys who actually have a striking background. It's always wrestlers or people who or whatnot. And then Jake Paul goes, well, I'll fight in MMA again, one fight against Masvidal. Masvidal would come out with some like weird flying knee or land some leg kicks, and you're not going to be able to handle it. And don't be like every other boxer. I'm going to throw an uppercut if he does whatever he does. Because Masvidal could shoot in double leg. There's a difference between a boxer and an MMA guy. But at the end of the day, Jake Paul is only where he's at because one reason: his name.